Francis Ngannou is back. So Ngannou made his MMA return against Renan Ferreira on the Battle of the Giants PFL card last night. What a performance from Ngannou. Ngannou might be the best heavyweight, and we will never know because we won't get the matchups that we need to see him in. When this fight got announced, I was unsure of what to expect with Ngannou because the guy's 38 years of age now. His last fight was over 2 years ago against Gan. I thought he beat Tyson Fury in their boxing matchup. I still stand by that. And then he got brutally KO'd by Anthony Joshua. And then the personal stuff with his son, the loss of his son, etc. I didn't know what to expect from Ngannou in this matchup. And Renan Ferreira, a lot of people might not know the guy, but he is a big puncher. He slept Ryan Bader in his last fight in the first round. And Renan Ferreira, with the stuff he was saying to Ngannou about he's going to be his toughest challenge this year and all after Ngannou's just lost his son, I thought Renan Ferreira was on smoke. And I didn't know what to expect from Ngannou. But when I seen the weigh-ins, Ngannou, a bit more emotion on display than what we have seen before from Ngannou. But Ngannou was ready for this fight and he proved it. Renan Ferreira, though, when this fight started off, Ngannou looked small in there compared to him. He made Ngannou look small. That's saying something. But anyway, Renan Ferreira and Ngannou, fight starts off. Both guys, bit of a feeling out process, throwing the kicks, the leg kicks. Then Ngannou shoots in for a takedown. Now, this goes back to the point of Ngannou just isn't this one-punch KO artist anymore. This guy is an extremely well-rounded mixed martial artist. And he seems to be only getting better with age. Now, Ngannou secures the takedown on Renan Ferreira. Now, when it instantly goes to the mat, I thought Renan Ferreira done a good job of breaking Ngannou's base. And it looked like he was trying to set up a couple of submissions like a Kimura. He then eventually went for the triangle, but couldn't really get it locked in, and Ngannou just muscled his way out of it. And after that, that was the beginning of the end. Ngannou then took his bag and unleashed some vicious ground and pound strikes. The PFL and the referee in charge last night must hate Renan Ferreira because that guy took a couple of unanswered shots that I don't think he should have had been taken. It was clear that he was out, looked to be out because he wasn't defending himself, and Ngannou was just raining down big shots around the back of the ear area. Legal shots but yeah, Renan Ferreira got smoked in there. Now, a lot of people want to know what's next for Ngannou. I don't think there's anything next for him to do in the PFL, to be honest. Renan Ferreira was kind of their only decent name. I mean, you could maybe do him versus Ryan Bader, maybe. But then Renan Ferreira smoked him, so it's like, I genuinely don't know. I don't know. The PFL are going to need to sign some big heavyweight names for Ngannou because really there's no one else for him to fight in the PFL. What needs to happen next, though, is the PFL, now they're owned by Saudi Arabia and the UFC are working with Riyadh Season now. We need a crossover event. We need Ngannou, John Jones. Now look, I understand Tom Aspinall needs to fight John Jones. I get that. But John Jones isn't going to fight Tom Aspinall, which is shit. I understand that. So if he's not going to fight Tom Aspinall, give us this fight. Ngannou, John Jones is the fight that got away, the fight that everybody wants to see. Ngannou versus John Jones is one of the biggest matchups you can make in MMA. Just cross-promote for that main event, please. Literally make it happen. Please, I want to see John Jones versus Ngannou. Because there's nothing for Ngannou to do in the PFL now. Like, he's going to end up going back into boxing. And I don't know who he's going to fight because, I mean, I'm trying to think of names off the top of my head. Who's he going to fight? Wilder. That's maybe the only other option. Now, to be fair, at the end of this matchup, it's kind of unsure what Ngannou's going to be doing now because he was very emotional talking about the loss of his son and stuff and him fighting for his son. So I don't know, is Ngannou going to continue or not? Hopefully. I mean, if you're the PFL, you've sank a lot of money in this guy. You need him to eke out a couple more fights out of him here. Or Ngannou just came in, took the bag off the PFL and just dipped. Which, fair play to Ngannou. But yeah, Ngannou looked really impressive in there against Renan Ferreira. I want him to fight John Jones next. I really do. That is the fight I want to see for Ngannou next. Chris Cyborg got a good win. Overall, there were some actually big names on this PFL card, but they're just not the same quality of fighters as what the UFC have. Now, that Hernandez Pereira card was dog shit. so that might be a bad example. But Ngannou, great performance against Renan Ferreira. I would love to know what's next for the guy, what the PFL have in store. Is it boxing? Is it another MMA fight? Chris Cyborg, good win for her. Johnny Eblen versus Fabian Edwards. Watch McGregor's review on it. That'll kind of give you my take on the fight. Boring, to be honest. It's not much really to talk about, to be honest, in that matchup. What we want to talk about though, AJ McKee, Paul Hughes. What a win for Paul Hughes. UK MMA, Irish MMA, putting it on the map. I cannot believe the UFC did not sign Paul Hughes. That is crazy to me that they did not make an effort to sign this guy. Honestly, might be one of the, if not, he's top 3 best prospects in MMA. He's not even a prospect anymore. He's just beat AJ McKee. Hopefully we see him in the UFC one day. He's going to go on to win the £1 million tournament off the PFL, get his money up, and then move over to the UFC. That's what I'm hoping happens for Paul Hughes. But yeah, overall, glad to see Ngannou back. I don't know what the PFL do next, to be honest. Give us PFL versus UFC, Ngannou versus Jones. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you again in the next one.